Well, we are here to do lesson 19. So it says use the RDW process, which you may not have heard that exact term. That stands for read, draw, write, which really is something that you've heard all the time in class, both in fourth grade and before that. So first we should read the problem. Then we should try and do some sort of visual, okay? But this can just be some sort of a diagram or a visual to help you. It does not mean you have to draw Sue, a detailed picture of Sue running. Some sort of diagram. And then we write using like math symbols. So I'm going to start with the reading. Sue ran 9/10 of a mile on Monday and 7/10 of a mile on Tuesday. How many miles did Sue run in the 2 days? And of course, oftentimes when you read, you should read more than once to make sure you really get it. The drawing, I have already made the drawing here. I made a tape diagram showing 9/10 on Monday and 7/10 on Tuesday. And I added this question mark on the top to indicate how many miles did Sue run in the 2 days. So basically we are just saying what is 9/10 plus 7/10. This is the writing part over here, correct? So sometimes people think the drawing part is silly, but sometimes it helps you really understand what's happening. So 16/10, right? And of course we've been talking about how 16/10 is 10/10 plus 6/10. So that is equal to 1 6/10. And maybe you even simplified it and got 1 3/5. Okay, reading. Mr. Salazar cut his son's birthday cake into 8 equal pieces. Mr. Salazar, Mrs. Salazar, and the birthday boy each ate 1 piece of cake. What fraction of the cake was left? So my draw part, I drew a cake. I'm going to draw a little more. So Mr. Salazar ate a piece, Mrs. Salazar ate a piece, and the birthday boy ate a piece. So those parts have been eaten. The parts that are left is what we want to know. And I can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, right? So the 8/8 is the whole cake, the 1 whole cake. And we are taking away the 3/8 of the 8, and we have 5/8 left. That's these green circles that are left in our drawing. Number 3, Mariah spent 4/7 of her money on a book and saved the rest. What fraction of her money did Maria save? So in my drawing here, I drew the money. The money was my big rectangle. And then I broke it into 7 pieces. Those are the green lines. 4/7 of it was spent, and we want to know what is left. So the whole money here is 7/7, right? That's the whole thing, whatever amount that is. And she spent 4/7 of it. And what's left is this part here, this part that's left. We can see on the diagram that it's 3/7. And we can write out our number since it's 3/7. So 3/7 of, not or, of her money left. Number 4, Mrs. Jones had 1 4/8 pizza left after the party. And I drew that part right down below that. You can see a full pizza over here and a half a pizza, 1 4/8 of a pizza. After giving some to Gary, she had 7/8 of a pizza left. So I'm going to use another color and shade in 7/8. So she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces left. That's what she had left. So what she must have given away is all of this must have been gone and that must have been gone, right? So from my diagram, I can see that she gave away a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So I think 5/8 is our answer. But how did we get 1 and 4/8 minus 7/8 got 5/8? So we could say that 1 is 8/8 plus 4 more 8s, which equals 12/8. So 1 and 4/8 is the same as 12/8. And then I can take my 12/8 and subtract those 7/8. And 12 minus 7 is 5, so 5/8. Number 5, a baker had 2 pans of cornbread. I drew my 2 pans of cornbread. He served 1 1/4 of the pans, so he served 1 whole pan and 1/4 of the pan. What fraction of the pan was left? Well, I can see that all of this was left, so it looks like 3/4 of a pan was left. How we solve this with the writing, it's pretty easy to see the picture. So 2, I'm just gonna say, let's just know that 2 is 8/4. It's equivalent. We can see the 8/4 over here in the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8/4 makes 2. And we are going to take away, let's see, we'll say the 1 is 4/4, and we are also taking away another 4th. So 8/4 minus 4/4 is 4/4 minus another 4th is 3/4. Of course, there are some other ways that you could have worked through that. This is just one way to think about it. Number 6, my drawing got a little complicated. Marius combined 4/8 of a gallon of lemonade, 3/8 of a gallon of cranberry juice, and 6/8 of a gallon of soda water to make punch for a party. So I started drawing a tape diagram to show the different amounts. I used the red to show where 1 full gallon would be. 8/8 is 1. So I've got 4/8 of lemonade, 3/8 of cranberry juice, 6/8 of soda water. So we see we went right past a gallon, and it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more 8s. So 1 5/8 gallon of punch. So the writing part here would look something like 4/8 plus 3/8 plus 6/8 equals, let me see, what's 7 plus 6, 13/8. And then I could say that that is 8/8 is 1, plus 5 more 8s would make 13. And since 8/8 is 1, that's how we ended up with 1 5/8, which is what our drawing tells us as well. So there you go, reading, drawing, and then writing it out. That is the end of lesson 19.